It's Ramsey Dewey over here in Shanghai, China. Welcome to another edition of Q&A with the Coach. Today we have a question from our friend Cami MTG, who says, "Hey Ramsey, question, what do you think about very intimidating hardcore coaches? I used to do judo when I was a kid, and I remember that the trainings were always very strict, and everyone had a massive respect/fear toward our coach. I'm doing Muay Thai now, 15 years later, and I really like my coach. Chilled, friendly, talkative. Yet is it effective? I'm not talking about skill level. I'm only talking about the personality traits." Okay. That was a trip down memory lane when I started martial arts. The MO of most martial arts instructors was to be a drill sergeant, basically. To bark orders at you, to try to get up in your face and be scary, and basically say, "Pain is weakness leaving the body." And you'd be like, "I'm thirsty, sensei. Can I go have a drink of water?" "No, instead you must do 100 more push-ups just for asking that question, you worthless worm." That type of thing, right? And I know a lot of guys who've trained under this sort of thing. A lot of people still do. And sometimes, man, I had this student from Russia, and he came to my gym for the first time. He trained for about a week there, and then he had this conversation with me. He said, "Coach, you are so kind. You are so nice. You are like an angel compared to my previous coach, who was like the devil." And I get it, man. I get it, man. That old school, hardcore drill sergeant coaching mentality. A lot of people expect that. A lot of people expect that if they go to an MMA gym, they'll have some angry guy yelling at them all the time. Some people want that. There's this boxing coach. I'm blanking on his name. He used to be a professional boxer until he was blinded in one eye. So he's got like this crazy looking eye. And you can look him up on YouTube. I'm going to try to put a link if I can find that video. But his whole MO is just being mean to people. So he's a coach now. These guys, I think he's in New York. Like these Wall Street business tycoon type guys come in, and they want him to yell at them. They want him to be mean. They want him to put them in their place, because they feel like that makes them properly motivated. And he says something like, "I don't know why these guys want me to do this, but..." Anyway, fascinating guy. And it's a fascinating mentality that's what so many average people expect. Is that really effective, though? One of the first really effective coaching moments that I had. My friend Jeff Moody, I actually fought him once. My first Muay Thai rules fight was against this guy named Jeff Moody. He outweighed me, he had a lot more experience I didn't have, and he knocked me out in about half a minute. And the guy was a beast. He had the nickname No Mercy. Just a really intimidating guy. Really intimidating guy. And sometime after that fight, he sent me an email, and he said, "Hey, I want to coach you. I want to see you win your next fight." I was kind of intimidated, and so he kind of took me under his wing, and he's coaching me for this fight. He's cornering me for this fight. And before the fight, he says, "I'm going to speak in a very calm voice, calm but loud voice, and I want you to focus on that voice." And it's not what I was expecting. I thought he would just be yelling like a drill sergeant during the fight. But instead, he tells me, "I'm going to be the only calm, rational voice in that room while everybody else is screaming." And so during the fight, during this violent action, this violent chaos, I hear his voice. "Do this, do that, do the other." And it worked really, really well. Really, really well. The guy knew how to read the room. Some people, sure, maybe they respond positively to somebody yelling at them. Most people, in my experience, do not, especially in something as already chaotic as fighting. One of the best coaches I ever had was a guy from Thailand, Kunlun Fight. Fantastic guy, owns multiple World Muay Thai titles. And your comment about training Muay Thai in a chill, relaxed environment reminded me so much of him. He always had a smile on his face, even when he was fighting. Even when people were trying to knock his head off, he was smiling because he was a happy guy. It wasn't one of those stupid smiles some people do when they get hit and they try to smile to lie to their opponent. You didn't really hurt me, he. No, it was just genuine happiness. I walked into the gym and I felt welcome. I felt like friendliness. I felt like good vibes, if you will. Anytime I was around him, because, he's just a happy, nice guy who can consequently teach you to kick people's heads off. Different strokes for different folks, as the old saying goes. So ask yourself, since you've experienced the contrast between those hardcore military-style drill sergeant coaches and, the nice guys, what's been your experience? Which has been more effective to teach you martial arts? Thanks for watching. Now get out there and train.